Welcome back to another episode of Musa and Friends. And today it's a special one. I have a special guest, Miss Shakkoi. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
How have you been?
Good, very busy, but thankfully busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I feel like the squeak in my voice can tell how crazy times have been.
Yeah. It's been a crazy times.
Yes.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
In this show, we always start with one simple question. Who is Shakkoi?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say honestly, I'm just gonna say the first thing that came to my head is Shakkoi is number one.
Shakkoi is number one.
Yes. The reason that came to my mind is because I was looking up your birth number, and apparently my birth number is number one.
Your birth number is number one.
Yes. So there's different birth numbers and deeper meanings of them, and I love all that deep understanding yourself stuff. So so I found out that I'm number one.
Yeah.
And that means that I'm a leader. There's also some things that I need to be mindful of, which are things that I work on through art. So I'm just yay, things are just making more sense. So Shakkoi is
Number one.
Yes.
I'm into that stuff, but because my brain is a little bit in mathematics.
Yes.
I don't know, calculate the first number with what, then add something else.
Yes, exactly.
That's where my weakness comes in. I did maths in high school, university. I'm done with that. No more calculations for me.
I feel you. My friend did the calculations.
Oh, perfect.
Shout out to Keisha.
Okay, shout out to Keisha.
Yeah.
Speaking of arts, what kinds of arts are you in?
I am into the speaking arts. I'm a spoken word artist and author, and I really just love hearing people's stories. I feel especially when you're able to go past the mundane, how are you, and actually get to know how people are really feeling. I really just love that type of art.
Yeah. Where did you get the passion for spoken word?
I guess from YouTube, watching Most Def.
Yeah.
And those poetry shows. And then when Kanye did his Bittersweet, I just really love how he was able to bring so much storytelling into his performance. And I was like, I want to tell stories maybe one day. That's how the first idea started. Then I started seeing shows like that in Toronto. And I was like, what? This is something I can actually maybe do. So started to build and grow.
Okay. So what's your first experience on stage doing spoken word? First time.
My first time, I'm pretty sure I was reading a poem about McDonald's because I used to work there.
You read a poem about McDonald's?
Oh, yeah. The
Were you doing it to become the employee of the month, or it was for fun?
Oh, no. I couldn't really share it as I was working there. I had to wait till after I was done working there to actually share it because, I was kind of just, trying to get the customers to understand. Sorry. I was trying to get the customers to really understand how the employees felt and
You
and
performed?
so I performed it at some I don't even know, it was a very random community event, and that was my first time. It wasn't even a real show or open mic or anything. It was just kind of something going on in the city. I'm like, you know what, let me just show up and see what I can do.
But
it was
creative.
scary.
Customers never knew what employees go through.
Never. Especially, I feel the way that I explained it, it just really finally allowed the employees to say things that they can't usually say, don't ask for more than one sauce if you don't want to pay for it.
Wow. I'm guilty. I always ask for extra sauce.
Yes.
It's good I wasn't there.
Yes, exactly.
Then tell us more about how did it feel? How did you overcome the fright? Or did it just come naturally? I'm just going to perform it. I'm confident.
No, it definitely didn't come like that. I feel I just kind of thought why not?
Yeah.
And then let me just give it a try and see. And then I really liked how people would listen to me.
Yeah.
But I feel even in school, I was really good with speech.
Yeah.
So it kind of just transcended. I just didn't realize that there was power in the things that I wanted to say as opposed to the things that I was just reading.
Okay. So let's fast forward how we met.
Yes. At another podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, not at another podcast. It was at a podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was it? The Green?
Oh yes.
That was the first. It wasn't at another point. It wasn't at another podcast. It was the Green Print Network.
Yes. It was like you guys were doing a podcast in the back, but it was like a show or like gathering.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yes.
We actually didn't plan to do a podcast, but we usually have just our stuff at the back of the car.
Wow.
We are like, if we get that opportunity, why not?
Yes.
Then we got the opportunity. Then when we were talking to everyone, we were like, wait, first, who is this? Who is To be honest, the first thing that came to my mind, who is that crazy lady? I'm opening up to you right now. This is the first time.
No, I appreciate it.
Who is that crazy lady?
Yes.
But you know what? We're like, we need to have her like on a one-on-one next time.
Yes.
And that was the first encounter. Then you now came to our first studio then.
Yes. I literally forgot the first time. I was thinking of the first time we actually recorded, but you're so right. And right, I just hopped in. I'm like, what's going on back here? Okay, hey, shout out. Everyone needs me in their life. Okay, bye.
We were like,
that's usually how it is.
Like, who's that lady? That lady is crazy.
Yes.
Like, anyway, we'll figure out ways to get her.
Yes.
Which was a hassle at first, but we finally got you.
Yes, because my schedule will be crazy, but I really appreciated the vibes that you guys brought. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just try it out and like see. And then we were locked in ever since. I was like, what? I'm having a show, like gotta get Moses to actually host. And
that's the modern day griot.
Yes.
That show.
It was amazing. It was actually
honestly, that show opened so many doors. Like after the modern day griot, I was just getting shows back to back. Like I was like, wait a minute. Like, and it was actually my first ever. No, actually, it was my second poetry show. After 9 years.
Wow.
I hosted the first poetry show in Kenya. First one. And it was only poetry because the other musicians, we couldn't afford them. So it's poets who showed up.
Wow.
So we were like, you know what? If the music canceled, let's change the whole thing. It's now going to be a poetry show. Then it became a poetry show. It was called Love at Dusk.
Wow.
It was a Valentine's thing. Because the musicians so we got, they were like, you guys are like we were, I wouldn't say nothing, but we were just beginning like in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So the musicians are like, these guys are too small. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we called in the poets. The poets were so happy to show up. And they killed the show more than the way we were planning. The show sold out in the middle of a show. Because we didn't know like one of the poets was also big. So we did like last minute bookings because people had already paid.
Yes.
We were like, the good thing we didn't announce who's showing up. Because the musicians already in our head, it was like, you know what, 50-50. They may not. They didn't show up. The poets last minute, they showed up. And we don't know how. They move in crowds. The next thing, the seats were full, all full.
Wow.
And that was the first poetry show. It wasn't a poetry show to start with, but it ended up to be a poetry show. I remember it, Love at Dusk, Riara University, first time.
I love that because I feel like poets probably showed up because they're probably just like used to just writing it down alone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, someone wants to hear this. That's amazing. Whereas I feel like with music, you have to kind of like put in so much, at least like recording, studio, producer, all that stuff. So it's probably like harder for them to.
And how does poetry change your life?
Oh my goodness. Poetry. Sorry, I don't mean to yell. Poetry.
You can yell.
Poetry has literally changed my life, saved my life. It's allowed me to, express myself in ways that actually allow people to understand me and see like the inner me.
Yeah.
So like I can't necessarily show up as sad as I feel sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I can put that into my poetry and actually express, it allows people to see that I'm not just like a happy-go-lucky person or like, you know, just like shiny all the time. Like I have my moments and I appreciate those moments because they make me also want to show up as a bright person, knowing like what I'm also going through.
Yeah.
And I feel like how it first started was like me wanting to write in my diary, but I'm like, my mom's way too slick. If I start writing my diary, she's going to find that like I'm like, I have to find a way to code when I'm saying, because then I can actually really like get it out there. So that's how I really started like writing poetry, because I wanted to express in a free way, but not necessarily like get in trouble for how I felt.
Okay. Wow. So you had to be sneaky.
Yes. Yes. But I did find out later on that she actually did end up reading my journal, and apparently she liked it. I never got licks, so apparently, like, it was good.
And we know you're not just a poet, you're also an author.
Yes.
Tell us more about it.
Author.
3-time author.
Yes.
Tell us more about it. How did you I know performing and doing poetry is one thing. Writing is also a different aspect of it. How did that start?
I feel like the writing started, and I realized the power of like actually making it engraved.
Yeah.
Because like you could write it on a piece of paper, you could write on a journal, but like if you don't take the time to actually like make it into something that is shareable, then like kind of what is the point?
Yeah.
So like I wanted to feel like, if like, God forbid, if anything happened to me, but I just wanted to make sure that I have something that like, to know that like people knew how I felt about this experience in this realm.
Where I come from, we say that's chasing immortality.
Pardon?
It's called chasing immortality from where I come from.
Tell me more.
Tell you more? If you write something like you want to leave something here that will live beyond you.
Yes.
That's chasing immortality.
That's exactly it.
Like even 100 years from now, someone can be like, yeah, I'm reading like Shakkoi's book. So you're still living, not here, but you're still alive.
Exactly. And that's the power of art, the power of poetry. And that's why I fell in love with it so much, because I'm just like, you can actually do that. And like, there's so many people that have.
Yeah. So tell us about the 3 books, starting with the first one.
Okay. The first one was when I was really in my hothead phase. And I was like, you know what? I just need to get these words out really raw. Like, I don't really care to edit them too much. I just need to like, I need people to feel what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if I want to write something like cookie cutter to just fit the narrative or to be performative, like that's just not what I want to do. I actually want people to be uncomfortable reading this to some degree. Like I want them to like think about something else differently. I want them to be moved in some way.
Yeah.
So the first one is titled The Poetic Transitions from a Hothead to a Conscious Queen.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's when I was really learning to transfer my anger into power. When I was like, yes, I'm angry, but like I have a reason, and like, let me explain to you like why I'm justified in my anger. Yeah. But why I'm also not just going to be angry, but actually do something about it.
Okay. Transitioning from angry to power.
Yes. Because I was just mad at the world, and I'm like, yeah, fight every day.
Give us a simple line from one of the books, from the first book. I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay, no. The line that's coming to me is like, sorry, I keep laughing because I feel like it's a shady line. And like, why did I think of a shady line? But that's kind of why I write poetry, to kind of like, let out all the things.
Let it out.
It's
let
like
it out.
Something like, sorry, I'm trying to remember. I think I actually have to look at it.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Look at it. Look at it.
Okay. And this is actually the one piece that I put into all of the books, because I feel like
so that's one piece that goes through all the books.
Like this is the one piece that was in all of the books, I'm pretty sure. Because I feel like with this piece, this is the first piece that I was like, yo, like, I'm going to memorize this. Yeah. And it was the first piece that I actually made money off of it. And I'm like, what? My words can actually make money? Like, this is crazy. Like,
words of power.
Let me try to write something else. So it was titled It's About Me. Yeah. And I feel like, oh yeah, so the line I was thinking of that I couldn't remember was, now every time you see me in your mind, you hear achoo, because you can't forget how many times I've blessed you. I feel like, I be blessing people and I be getting blessed. So I'm thankful, I'm humble. Yeah. But I feel like in poetry, I can really like stand in different energies of myself unapologetically.
Okay. So now let's go to the second book.
Yes. The second book, which is no longer available.
Why? Why no longer available?
I just feel like at that point it was COVID and I really felt like, wow, like we could all die. Like, let me just put out something honestly very wild.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like, if not now, when?
Yeah.
You know, so that one is titled The Conscious Queen Volume 1 featuring the After Dark edition.
That was the COVID time.
Yeah. And I felt like, you know, like I do write erotic pieces as well. And it's like, there's not necessarily like, I don't necessarily want to write an erotic poetry book, but I wanted to incorporate it in my story because I feel like that's a part of who I am and like what I write. So
wow.
That's why the copy sold out and I'm not looking to make any more.
It's sold out and you're not looking to make any more.
Yeah, it was a time and a place.
Yeah, so like if it was me, if it sold out, oh guys, I'm producing more.
Right? No.
I'm just kidding.
Right. And that's honestly like brings up the conversation about like fame and the importance of fame. Like, are you doing it because you want to like be famous? Like, what do you actually want? Yeah. And I really had to think to myself, and I'm like, I don't necessarily want to be famous. Not necessarily. I don't want to be famous. I want to be free. Yeah.
You want to be free.
Yeah. And I feel like fame like ties you down. Like, I feel like even though I feel like I'm not famous, but I feel like a lot of people know me to the point where I'm like, you know, sometimes it'd be great to be less known, you know? So I feel like that's when I realized, I'm like, wow, like fame isn't even what I'm chasing. Like what I'm chasing is like to actually like inspire people, like the people who feel like they can't do anything with their anger or they're like want to like dig deeper into their emotions. That's why I want to like touch and remind them that like you can do it as well. Okay. Look into art. It's there for you.
Okay. Miss Shakkoi, Inside Musa and Friends.
Yes.
Now let's go to the third book.
Yes. So the third book, I feel like that's my baby.
It's your baby.
I feel like that's when I knew myself. Well, like I feel like I was trying to figure out myself all along with the first two books. Like, I'm like, am I a hothead or am I a queen? Then I'm like, no, I'm a queen. I just be having hothead moments, you know? But for good reason too, especially when I'm able to sit down and unpack them. Yeah. The second one, I'm like just going off. But then this one, I really like had a vision. I'm like, this is the one that I see more longevity for. Yeah. Where I'll never be like, okay, like I'm done selling these books.
Actually, thank you for inviting me when you're launching the book.
Yes.
That was a special moment.
Yes.
Wow.
Right? We were on like what, the 27th floor, like
looking over the
poems of pain and power. Yeah. This is the one that I carry with me because it's the clean one. Yeah.
Actually, there's no time I've met you and you don't have that book.
Listen, you got to stay ready.
Yeah.
You got to stay ready so you never get ready. The same way that you guys had your podcast stuff in the back of your trunk. Yeah. If you didn't have that, we wouldn't have met.
That's true. Because after the event, we would have just left and gone.
Exactly. And they'd be like, we wouldn't know why we needed to connect.
Yeah. Tell us more about that book. Because I've read that book. There's more to it than what you just said.
There's so much more to it.
There's more to it than that book.
Yes.
Poems of
I'm
Pain
just
and
going
Power.
to take a drink.
Yeah. Take a drink. Because I know more is to come.
Yes.
Miss Shakkoi.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
So with this book, I was like, yo, I not only need to teach like youth, I also need to help teach seniors too. I need to like go across the board. And so the only way that I can do that is to be real and practical. Yeah. So in this book, I made the themes poems of, in this book, there's different sections. One section's about pain because I realized that like you have to kind of break sometimes to even want to build yourself. Like I feel like some people like they're maybe not doing enough because they haven't hit rock bottom yet. Yeah. But when you hit that rock bottom, you're like, yo, like there's nothing left. There's actually a chance for you to grow. Yeah. So I feel like that's why I put the pain first. And after the pain, that's when you can actually like find your power. Okay. Because you're able to like put together the pieces and you don't know like that's like creating like vibranium, like when you're creating these pieces, like you don't know when you're able to bring them together. Yeah. And yeah, so I feel like with this book, I really like made sure to have a component where others could feel like they're writers too, because you are what you say you are. Like, you know, like I used to love Eminem. I am whatever you say I am, you know, because you really are.
Yeah.
People, as soon as I started calling myself like a queen, starting on like social media first, I'm like, let me try this out. Like, Shakkoi, Queen Shakkoi,
Queen
you know,
Shakkoi,
exactly.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Then all of a sudden people started calling me queen. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is how it works. So I'm like, you know what? I'm a poet. Then all of a sudden I'm getting gigs for poetry and all these different workshops, facilitation. So
Yeah.
you are what you say you are. And I feel like too much, sometimes people are too concerned with like the perfection. So they won't call themselves a writer or an artist.
Yeah.
You are, you write, you're a writer. You sing, you're a singer. You don't have to be the best, but like it's something that you do.
Yeah.
So I put prompts in the book that actually match with some of the poems to give people ideas to write their own story, write out their own pain, write out their own power. So they can see that like they can write a book too. You just have to believe you can.
So you're saying I can write a book too?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Really? I could
Yes.
just start writing a book and publish it.
Yes.
It's that easy.
Do you believe you can?
I believe I can, but I
Then
don't know
you
how
can.
to do it.
The how is not up to you.
Oh,
You
so
just
the
have to
how is not
believe.
up to me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful.
Even when I wrote my first book, I just wanted to write a book, but
Yeah.
I didn't know how. And then I ended up going on YouTube, figuring out that it's a lot of American videos I'm reading, I'm watching, so they're not even making sense of what I'm trying to do. Called around a few people. All of a sudden, like I'm printing out like a manuscript. I honestly didn't even realize that I self-published. I just was like doing things.
Yeah.
Then people are like, oh, you self-published. I'm like, this is what it's called. I honestly didn't even realize. So really just knowing that you can and just keeping that belief, that's like all you need.
How long did it take you to write the book? From start to finish, yeah.
The third book?
Yeah.
So probably like almost like 2 years of putting it together.
Yeah.
But like 10 years of writing. Because it has like a range of poems that I've written.
2 years of putting it together and then 10 years of writing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's why I want people to just start writing, because my first journal became my first book.
Your first journal became your first book.
Yeah. When I was writing in college trying to avoid my mom figuring out what I was really trying to say, that became my first book. So that's why I just want people to just keep writing, because you never know like what you can do with it. But if you never write, that's 10 years lost.
I think I have 30 books there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I have 30 journals.
You just go back to your writing, you make a theme, publish. That's why I said you don't have to worry about the how. Your book's already done. You have 30 notebooks. Your book's already done.
There's only one difference though. You know, when you write a journal, it's different from writing other stuff.
Why?
There's some stuff which I wrote there. That was me then. Then there's me now.
So confront yourself through the book.
I confront myself through the book.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, my first journal is coming. Soon enough. Soon enough. Soon enough.
That's the thing. Please, when you write a book, like, don't try to write it to be like so nice and like digestible. Write it how you feel. Write it in a raw manner. Like, because the best thing about writing a book, you want to write it in a way that no one else can.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can do that is by telling your genuine story.
Yeah.
And if it's too much, change the names, boo-boo. You know, like, that's why people have all these different stories and stuff. Like, it just changed the names.
Wow. Huh. No, I'll just put my name there.
Hey, right?
For me, I'm like, the moment I get over me not releasing, by the time I'm releasing, you guys, it's me.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Stand on business.
Yeah. I didn't reach here just being like that.
Yes.
It is what it is. So
I see it happening.
So what's coming up next? I know you usually have events here and there because you're always busy and you're not busy with nothing. You're busy with something.
Yes, yes. I have taken on a new role.
Yes.
Where I am doing a lot more art, a lot more programming with community.
Yes.
And so there's like a festival that I'm planning right now, a lot of programming
throughout
the year. And I feel like it's allowing me to really learn what it takes to run like a big art organization.
Yeah.
So I'm really just taking my time to learn and also being okay with like taking a step back from my artistry.
Yeah.
Like, for example, last summer, I feel like I was like working so hard to try to be like, find gigs, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Like this year, I'm like, you know what? I'll just see what happens, but I'm not worried about the how. I'm here.
Yeah.
I have my price. I have my new price list 2024 because last year's price is not this year's price.
That's true. Right. Yeah. It's gone up.
Period. It's gone up. So I have that ready. I have my website and I just like make sure that I'm in the right time to like receive certain things.
Yeah.
And that is when I'm most chill. Not when I'm trying to find it.
Run around all over
yeah,
the place.
I'm like, yo, this week I'm dancing every single day except for Friday. Sorry, Thursday is poetry, but 2 times on Tuesday. So 4 dancing engagements and 1 poetry engagement for next week.
So basically 5 days of your week are super booked.
Yes, as I'm also working. So that's when I'm like, I'm thankful. Yeah. I'm thankful because I'm doing what I love.
That's perfect. What are some of the challenges coming into this new role?
Honestly, learning how to really like be okay with doing less in my real life. Like, for example, like I haven't done a poetry show since April.
Yeah.
And like usually I'm so like, oh my God, I could have. But so like taking the chill back, it was hard. It was hard.
It was hard.
I'm like, am I giving up on what I love? You know, I'm like, oh my God, I can't get back in, you know, but like I feel like taking a pause has allowed me to actually like analyze it more.
Yeah.
And like see how much more I can do and also stand my ground in it.
Okay.
Like now I'm able to like negotiate with people and organizations and say like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
It made me realize what type of poet I am. And I'm the type of poet where like, I want to share things that I already have. I have 3 books.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things that I can match to different situations, scenarios, shows, themes.
Yeah.
And I'd rather come like that as opposed to like feel like I'm being performative and trying to match what they want me to do. Because as an artist, like I'm an artist because I don't want to do the regular thing, you know? So why am I going to do that in other places just to showcase my art?
Wow. That's so interesting. But why did you decide to take it? Because I know because personally for me, changing from one situation, it's very uncomfortable. How did you transition? Because for me, transition is where the issues come. When I'm into that position, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But moving into it, it's now where the issues are.
I feel like you have to be ready to let go before you jump into the next. If you're having issues in the next, it's because you haven't fully let go of like the last thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like I had to let go of how like busy I was poetry-wise before to like allow myself to be happy in this role.
Okay.
So like I was ready to just make a change.
Oh, interesting. So of all the poems you've written, which one is your most favorite?
My favorite one is Message to My Anxiety.
Message to Anxiety.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm going to ask next? You ready?
Page 88. Yeah.
You know what I'm going to ask next?
What are you going to ask next?
What am I going to ask next?
I don't know.
Are you going to give us a piece of the...
Okay, I will, because I feel like that one allows me to like... I love poetry because it allows me to be like sad, mad, and just like, you know, different. So
just don't beat me up.
Oh, no. I channel my energy through art. Yeah, okay, so this is Message to My Anxiety. Message to my anxiety. You secretly inspire me. Singing loud like a choir's key. You're trying to be the hierarchy. You're focused on me like hocus pocus. Then I bloom on you like a lotus. You're like winter weather, but I'm a flower. With your storming ice and snow, you freeze my power. I'm being blunt to break the ice since you're crawling in my head like lice. Things are unknown, lice the dice. Being comfortable costs a price. I want to be the cashier again, fighting you back with the strokes of my pen. Anxiety, if you had a title, you would be my least favorite idol. I'll stop there.
Wow.
I just feel like I'm allowing myself to break in that poem.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
And that's your most favorite one?
Yeah.
Wow. Let's talk about how you handle yourself in events. Because every event...
What type of event?
Whichever kind of event. Okay, the ones I've gone to and you were there. You have always shut down the show. How do you do it?
First of all,
To be
thank
honest,
you.
let me tell you, I usually put you the last intentionally. I won't lie. And everyone who knows me knows that. Like,
I appreciate
because
that.
I know in events there's always this politics, who's performing last and whatever. Everyone knows if there's Shakkoi, she's performing last.
Honestly, I feel like I gotta sit up for this one. I feel like I want some Drake stuff, like because I really do this. Like I really do this. Like what I'm saying, the experiences, like it's so real, dear, and true to me. So like I'm not gonna do anything half-assed. Like if I'm gonna do it, like I'm really coming with my whole self, and I feel like that shows in the work and performances that I do. Like if I don't, I'm stubborn. If I don't love it, like I can't pretend that I do. So like I know that I really love sharing and connecting with people, and that's when I get the opportunity to, because I'm just honestly, again, like I said about poets, we're by ourselves writing, like everyone's like, oh shoot, people liking this. So I'm really just thankful for every opportunity that I get to continue to share.
Because one thing I've learned from you, because I was in the university industry for a while, but doing an event with you for the first time, I realized how much shit I don't know. Honestly, because it was like one of my first biggest events. There was a stage manager. I didn't even know there's something called a stage manager.
Oh yeah, shout out Marissa S. Okay, holding it down.
I was like, wow, this is like, there was a mic test and everything. Usually we're doing stuff like, we go to a show, do a show, because we believe in ourselves, but we didn't know there's the professional part of it.
Listen, I've learned so much about organization with shows. Like I'm like, it's only getting better and better even with my job. So I'm just like, this is actually perfect.
Yeah.
And I realized that it's just like when you can, like one of my mom's favorite saying was, well, at least my favorite saying from her was, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
One more time.
An ounce of prevention.
An ounce of prevention.
Prevention. Yes. Is better than a pound of cure.
Is better than a pound of cure.
Yes. So if you can foresee something and like, you know, set it up, it allows you to do better as opposed to like waiting, not foreseeing it. And then you're in the moment and you're like, damn.
Wow. So for those guys who don't understand part what she said is prevention is better than cure, in simple words.
Yes.
But I prefer
proverb.
I don't know if it's in the Jamaican culture or even in the African culture. When you're being told something in your cultural way, it sticks better.
Exactly. It wouldn't even make sense the other way. It's like, what? What was this saying?
If you tell me just like English, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But the way you've said prevention, like it's already sticking in the head. Like, hey, this is serious. You need to take account of it.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, no. And now I'm really just loving running events. So thank you for that.
Oh, I learned a lot in one day. I went home. I had a self-reflection.
Yeah,
like a serious.
And you notice too the power of having a team. And a good team. Like I said, I'll be stubborn sometimes. I'm a Taurus. So it took me a while to realize that, wow, like you can actually have a team. People can help. Like, especially when I'm like running the show, producing the show and performing. I'm like, I can't host too. I can't organize people too. I'm like, it's too much. So the power of a team is just like, means a lot.
Because I've been to events whereby when you're being called as the host, you're also organizing the artists. But when you now have like there's a stage manager, I'm like, oh, there's also some weight taken off from me. So it allowed me to be the best in front of the stage. You're not like, sometimes when you're a host, you're thinking, oh, the other artist is not ready. The other artist, I don't know, needs this. But in that event, like there's someone already taking care of that. Like the nenext artist is already ready. When this one is just done.
Yo, I'm like, loving this feedback. It means a lot, really and truly. Like,
because when I asked you to host, I was like, oh, when you said, okay, I'm like, oh, this is a big show. Moses, you've never done anything like this before. How are you going to do it?
And you see, you released your doubts and stepped out. Come on. Organic, okay.
I still have the shirt hanged in my room. Like literally I look at it, release the doubt and step out. That morning I woke up, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to this show. It is what it is. I'm just going to do my best. And we killed the show.
It was amazing. Like I still have content to drop from that.
Wait, you still have content from that?
Yes. Like I'm gonna do a whole like Well, I'm saying this now recording, so now I really got to make sure I do it. I'm going to do a whole like page for Poems of Pain and Power where I take all the pictures from modern day griots and put it there because I'm definitely looking on continuing that show.
Exactly. Plus also that show was my first time like doing like with a female co-host. I've never worked with someone like on stage like.
Really?
No.
And you guys vibe so well.
Yeah, it was the first time.
Wow.
And the thing which I loved about it is like everyone brought in their best.
Yes.
It's Aliyah, right? She's called Aliyah.
The co-host?
Yeah.
Aisha.
Yes, my bad.
No
Aisha,
worries.
don't kill me. I'm sorry. My bad. Aisha, my bad.
Yes.
Yeah, like she brought in some stuff which I didn't know. I was learning also some stuff from her.
Nice. Like what?
Yeah?
Like what?
For me, okay, this is my biggest. I never say this weakness. If you give me a piece of paper to read in front of people, I'll mess it up. But give it to me 10 minutes before. I won't read the paper in front, but I know what's in the paper.
Yes.
I know how to summarize things.
No, seriously. You killed that.
For me, if you give me to read like word by word, I will fumble.
Yes.
I will literally fumble. But give it to me 5-10 minutes before, let me read through it. I will know what to say on stage.
Yes.
So there's some things which Aisha was teaching me at the backstage. Oh, here you have to do this, do that. I'm like, okay, wow, I'm learning some new stuff.
Yes.
The next time person to book me, oh, you're in for a show, but you're paying more too.
Yeah, exactly. The price has to go up with the knowledge. It has to go with
the knowledge. It's not coming for free.
Exactly. And Aisha's going to have to make an appearance on this show for sure because she learned all that from a podcast that she was doing as well too. So
actually, I have a bone to score with Aisha. I've been calling her. She's been snubbing me. Aisha, you're coming here.
Don't worry. This is recorded. Don't worry. I got you.
Yeah.
That's why you need some koi. I help plug people in. And
right now,
together.
I'm coming with muscle. You can't handle me.
Yeah. Right, Moses is doing his 50 push-ups a day, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Keeping up with it.
Oh, thank you for reminding me too.
Yes.
I have to do the 50 push-ups.
Yes.
Actually, the other day for the first time, I did 50 in one go.
Wow.
I usually do them in sets, either 30, then relax a bit, then do 20, or do 20, then do 30. For the first time, I did 50.
Yes, stamina.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of summer left, so.
Oh, there's still a lot of summer
get
left.
It outside.
I'm looking to lose more 15 pounds.
Yes.
By the end of the year.
You got this.
I got this.
Yes.
Wow. Miss Shakkoi, Inside Musa and Friends.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about summer?
Honestly, the way that the trees move.
How the trees move.
Sorry, I was like, I feel so corny, but it's the first thing. Like, I just love looking at trees, like just breezing and just like being so free and just reminding us that like the power of just being.
Okay, tell me which kind of moving? You know, the trees move twice.
Like, okay.
When you're driving, you see them move, and when they're just moving, which kind of moving?
when you are standing still and the tree is moving,
they're
like
swinging
in the
with
wind.
the wind. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like it's like whispers from the ancestors.
Wow. In Africa, there's a quote: "If you don't bow to the wind, you break." So that's why the trees always just follow the wind so that they don't break.
They're staying in flow.
Yeah, exactly. Going with the vibes.
And I feel like in the winter when everything's so like stiff, it hurts. Like I feel like more pain because I can't see the trees like sway like that. So yeah.
What's your long-term goal with poetry?
Honestly,
put it this way: Shakkoi at 65 years old in poetry.
I would already have like workbooks throughout various, not even just school districts, but like the world, international.
Yeah.
Getting people to really allow themselves to tap into their emotions.
Yeah.
Break to build.
Break to build.
Yes.
Explain that. Break to build.
I feel like especially with the Instagram, social media, you're supposed to be shown so done up.
Yeah.
But then like when you're actually able to look behind yourself and actually say like, how do I really feel? Like, do you even like social media? Are you doing it just because it's there, your friends have it? Like asking yourself some real questions, like even deeper than what is your why? Like, what is your why times 30? Like, why this? Okay, why again? So like those deep questions, I feel like I'm good at helping people confront that within themselves and sharing.
This is like the third time I've, what is your why? I actually learned that from you too. What is your why? Actually, you were arguing with someone at the backstage. Like, what is your why?
Because I'm like, like I really, even when I work with kids, I love working with youth as well. Like, I feel like I just like really get to them in that sense where it's like, come on, like, I can see why you're angry, but now what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. What's your why? Because another thing I've learned from you is like you don't tolerate shit.
Taurus energy. I honestly like to get what I give out.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not always the case, but yeah, so I've learned, boundaries and things.
But to be honest, like if you're working in a team, you always need someone like that.
Thank
to
you.
always put some people in some place. Because I've been in some events, you really want to put people in place, but there's no that person to put them in place.
Thank you.
And sometimes as a host, you don't want to come off that, like, bring out that energy.
Right? But no.
But when someone comes off and that person understands it, you're like,
Yes, the communication of it all. And I can't remember who told me this, but they were saying something like, especially when you're performing, you're on stage, like, be okay. You have to defend yourself. Like, if you're doing something and someone's there, like, being disruptive, call them out respectfully, especially when you're being paid to be there. Like, I had a performance once where I had to call some people out and be like, like, I took time to prepare this. So if you guys could just, hush for a little so I can finish. And
Because for me, I remember the first time when I wanted to do events, my first person to tell me about events is like, 1, people in events will do shit. 2, don't tolerate shit.
Yes.
3, be ready to speak out on the shit. Yes. I was struggling on the third part.
And that's real. That's real because it's and I'm glad you said that because it takes a lot to be that person to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I can't necessarily think about feelings right now. I have to think about the logics of this.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
How logical is it for me to not tell you this as opposed to just saying it, getting it done, or just having the hard conversation? Because I feel like for most hard conversation, there's some sort of like relief.
Yeah. And people end up learning it. Like once people learn it, like the next event keep on getting better and better.
Exactly.
Oh. So no more events this year?
We'll see.
For Shakkoi performing. No organizing.
Right. Yeah, I'll be performing for the Toronto Museum.
Yeah.
August 22nd and 23rd. The Thursday and Friday of that week. So that's gonna be.
So now it's no big shows only.
Pretty
shows
much.
That
I'm not looking to waste my time. I have to match my price. So yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. So tell us something. I want to tell like people who are listening to this something no one knows about Shakkoi.
Something no one knows. That's so expressive. So it's like, what don't people know? I guess maybe something that people don't realize as much is that I feel like I am very outgoing.
Yeah.
But I'm also like very shy. I feel like I'm an introvert. Like I feel like I'm the both introvert and extrovert.
To be honest, since I came to Canada, I think everyone is like that.
Okay.
Here it's a thing. I learned it here.
Yes.
Because I get, summertime we are different. Wintertime we are different.
Exactly. We outside.
We're outside. So we go with the weather.
Yes.
We're always happy in summertime and always moody in wintertime.
Thank you.
I thought it was only me. Until I learned
so glad
everyone. It's everyone.
Yes.
And for Black people, we go by the sun.
Exactly.
We are way happier when the sun is out.
Yes.
I'm very moody in wintertime.
So I guess one thing people don't really know about me then, so that's more like universal.
Yeah.
Is I don't really I really love my poetry, but I don't necessarily love going to a lot of different poetry shows.
What?
I know.
So you don't go to so many poetry shows?
Like I will try to, and I like respect them, but I feel like I like the raw poetry scenes.
Yeah.
Like if it's too clean, I don't want to go there. Like I want to hear the raw stories, So I like that raw poetry.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not necessarily like always at a lot of different poetry shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually,
I feel you. I've been to both.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, because sometimes people be like, Timo Shakkoi, this poetry show, and I'm like, I don't really like poetry like that. Like, it's not like that, but like, it's like, I want a certain type of poetry.
It's like, like a music. There's one which is explicit, then there's one which is just edited.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like, because I listen to too much Jamaican music.
I'm just thinking about Vybz Cartel.
Wait, first, speak about it. Do you think he's be released or no?
Definitely.
He's gonna be released?
Yes.
Okay.
Jamaica will fight.
All right. What's your favorite song from Vybz Cartel?
Wow, there's like too many to pick.
Too many to pick.
Yeah, I love Vybz Cartel. He's like one of my favorite lyricists. I feel like he's just so natural, and that raw energy.
Yeah.
I've learned from that.
My favorite is Underwater.
Yeah, that's a big one. Big tune.
To be honest, I heard it the first time. Actually, I think even YouTube got bored of me. It's like, this guy only listens to this thing, like, and you're gonna pick something else.
Yes.
But every time, Underwater. Even at the gym, Underwater.
Right?
Underwater.
Perfect gym music.
Oh.
I'm like thinking of you, and I'm like, they're all like curse word stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just say the catalog. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like, of the poetry, like, one of my favorite Jamaican musicians is Dexter Daps.
Yeah.
So the first time I heard it was his songs was from a radio. Then I listened to the Spotify ones. I'm like, wait a minute. This is not the ones I heard on the radio. It's two different things. That's when I knew words have too much power.
Yeah.
Like, you just changing one word can change the whole song.
Yes,
like,
that's so true. The real power of words.
Yeah, you feel like that one, yes, the meaning is still the same, but it's not hitting me right. It's not touching the right spots.
It's not. That's why, like,
Yeah.
Thank God for the people who just really just write from the raw energy.
Exactly. I used to have YouTube subscription. I canceled it. I was like, nah.
Right?
Yeah.
Forget that.
I'm not paying for you to cut
things.
some stuff out for me. Like, I'm not a kid.
You want to hear what the artist originally wrote when they first heard that sound, beat, melody.
I was like, yeah. So when you tell me, like, going to a poetry show whereby you feel edited, if it's me, I'm asking for a refund. Easily. I'm good on refunds. I like refunds.
I feel like I'm that person who's just like, I don't want to argue.
Yeah.
So I'll just, like, I'm saying that because I feel like my sister, she's always the person at the table, like, if we're ordering food, like, no, I'm going to put that back there. And I'm always like, it's okay, I'll just eat it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, right? So I need more of that refund energy.
Yeah. So as we finish up, tell us because we always know, like, where most kinds of art go, but most people don't know what's the next phase of poetry?
Like going from a writer to an author, facilitator, like the next phase after facilitator.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'd be like assemblies and tours and maybe creating your own league.
Creating your own league. What do you mean by creating your own league?
Have I said too much? No, I'm joking. I'm like, you're always planning something, but like honestly, like creating your own like people or network like a fan of poetry. Base. Yeah. Yes, and like really like traveling with that, not necessarily like waiting to be seen by something, but like creating your own like thing that can be of league with
but I feel you already have that. Because in your shows, there are people I never miss to see. Big or small show, there's some people who are always like there, like Shakkoi's fans. Like you will always see this kind of people.
Thank you.
Which I usually admire. Because when you go to a place whereby I met these people last time, if I'm going to another Shakkoi event, I'm not a stranger.
Exactly. Don't do that. That means a lot for real.
Yeah. An example of yesterday, I met people who I've met in your shows.
Yes.
And no one feels like a stranger. We're all having a good time.
Yes. It's like a reunion every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm so thankful. And through art, continues to connect us.
Oh, before we even forget, we're going to give out something for this show.
Yes. What should we... We are going to be giving away a book, okay? Yeah. And not just a book, but the book that could allow you to write your book.
Miss Shakkoi.
Yes, so we'll decide the giveaway in the caption.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll decide how we're going to give it out when this episode drops. So they should be on the lookout.
Yes. Prize coming your way.
Yeah.
If you believe it, you can achieve it.
Well, let's say if they can match my push-ups.
Oh, Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah?
I'll call myself out of that.
You're the one giving out a book, so
Right,
you're
exactly,
exempted.
right?
You're exempted.
That's the only reason why, or else, no, I'm joking. Definitely not. But yeah.
So any last words, like encourage us so that people can move from having the doubt so that they can be able to release it.
Yes, honestly, like, don't wait and why not you? Those are the two things that are coming to me. Like, don't wait for perfection. Don't wait to know how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Just like believe that you can. The how is really not up to you. And like just continuing to do it regardless.
Okay. So we're going to end in style, like we always say. Release the doubt.
And step out. Boy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
And that's it from Musa and Friends. Bye.
Bye-bye.